Hi, this is a video using the mini ball for focusing on some ab work, spinal mobility, some glute work which I'll do as well, and then I'll use the band. We'll do a little bit of hamstring work as well. So the first one I think I'll do is side bends. So these are quite nice for getting a stretch to the side of the body and the ribs, and also preparing the abs for a bit of work. So I have a hand space between the top of the ball and the armpit here, and then my body's in the middle of the ball, and then I reach forward this way with the top arm that way. Just make sure both shoulders are okay here as well, that you're not overstretched. And then from here, you can bend that bottom arm just to take pressure off the neck as well. You can even lift the head a little bit that way, as long as that's okay on the arm. All these different positions just to kind of, whether it improves it or not, improves the position or not. Then breathe into the ribs. Kind of the free side is the top side, the restricted side is the bottom side. You can breathe into the top side first, breathe out. Breathe in. Get a good stretch on the ab wall, breathe out. You can reach the arm over that way. Might even feel it. A good stretch from the top of the pelvis to the bottom of the ribs. If that's too much in your lower back, you can kind of come a little bit higher. That way you feel that a little bit more higher up the ribs. It depends on where you feel kind of tightness, right? You can take pressure off the body, then you can go again. Just make sure you're not overarching your back as well. Bring that front top leg forward a wee bit as a bit of an anchor. There's loads of different kind of angles to feel that you're loosening out the ribs. That's even active stretch there, that way, and then up, an active stretch, that way. And you can stop this video and stay there for a little bit longer. I'm just kind of running through a couple of things just to give you some ideas with this, and then when you remember them, you'll be able to just kind of go into them at different points in time, separate up this video, or you can just continue to watch the video. Feel your stretch. Just observe that how you are from one side to the other. Again, watching the shoulders. My palm, my hand is down or facing forward. That way, you kind of melt into it. Breathe into the top side of the ribs. Pull in, you can draw up with the pelvic floor muscles, you can pull in your abs as well, just protect the lower back. That way, just make sure you're okay in the neck. You feel it all, even on the top of the ribs, top of the shoulders, such good stretches. All right, and then this next one is a little bit of upper body extension. These are all just mobilities to start, right? So I have this just underneath the shoulder blades, in the middle of the shoulder blades. Then I reach over that way. Then you can breathe in. You can tuck it under with your tailbone here as well, where you feel that you've got connection with your ab wall. And then you're supporting your head, right? You're reaching back, opening up the upper ribs, not pinching into the cervical spine purposely. Breathe in. So the ribs open up and out on an inhale, so that will help facilitate your ability to kind of extend. So bend backwards, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And a breath in, and then slowly up, closing the ribs. Yeah, so it's kind of like closed ribs, open ribs. Breathe in, exhale, traveling back over the ball. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The breath in and gently up. Good. And relax. Alright, and then I'll show you some of the ab ones then. So with this, so I have a hand space between, I know you probably can't see that there, but there's a hand space. I don't have the ball wedged into my lower pelvis. I have it kind of just resting on the lower back area, top of the lower back, and then you just it's trying to see where you can get a bit of control through the ab wall. So as I draw the ribs down and then back, so the shape of my ribs is kind of like drawing down and then back, but I'm not pushing my spine into the ball. It's quite subtle. I don't need to work really super hard here. I just need to pull in my ab wall, and then I have the hands forward. That's kind of, and they could be palms up or palms in. All depends on how you are. It's harder this way because you got the weight of your arms now on your abs. And back. And back. You can come down a little bit lower if you feel that's too much lower back, and you come up less. Yeah, you can go back to long arms then. And back. You could even have your hands down like that. Like that. Using your arms to kind of help you leverage. So you can help yourself on the way up and then pull in your abs and slowly down. And up and pull in your abs and slowly down. And up and pull in your abs and slowly down. So it's like eccentric abs, yeah? So working on the lengthening. Alright, then there's a few oblique ones. So the oblique ones then looks like the side bend one, but the ball is a little bit lower, like from here, and then the elbow is in the air of the lower arm. And I go from lateral flexion, so side bend position with control and stability, so hopefully in the ab wall, and then I come up to straight. I don't cross over the midline. So I'm not doing this, I'll show you. I'm not coming up to here and then coming up that little bit higher. So there's no need to do that, right? So that's more kind of a back care approach to working your abs. Gently over and up and down and up, down and up. And you can slide. You'll see my shoulder blades sliding up and sliding down. I'm not locking into my shoulder. So that allows me to kind of mobilize through my upper ribs that way. And then over and up and over and up, over and up and over and up. So I haven't counted you in there. So just, you could start off with kind of sets of 12, kind of, you want to try and get to the point where it's not annoying your lower back and you can kind of feel it, so you kind of slowly fading on your ab wall. Sometimes it takes a while kind of to release the diaphragm out, so when I go over, I'm kind of pulling in. I'm trying to cave out my abs a wee bit, especially my upper abs, and up and down and up, because that'll strengthen if there's a little bit of weakness like in the front of the ab wall, that will kind of strengthen that, you know. So make sure you're pulling in from the front, not just relying on the obliques. And then back over, and then up. Your second side will probably feel like stronger because you've already worked the lower side. So that lower side is actually helping you stay stable. You wouldn't feel that you're working your lower side there, which you kind of are. But anyway, your main feeling would be the top side here. Again, shoulder, sliding shoulder blade up, reaching the fingertips down without locking in on the shoulder. It's just a gentle glide of the shoulder blade and over, pull in and back and pull in. Use your breath. Don't exaggerating the exhales here, just so you get the measure up. You need to keep your technique kind of going, that you're oxidating your muscle fiber, that you're firing correctly through your body to the best of your ability. And over, and up, and over, and up. Cool. That's that one. I'll do the glute one. So these glute ones then, so I have this held in my hamstring, right? In my knee crease, and then up and over. I can do leg circles this way. Knee comes up, open out and around. Pelvis stays stable and still. Exhale back, inhale forward and up. Exhale back and down. Like that. So that takes a while. Try not to be too grippy with the foot. Stay relaxed in the foot. Letting the knee go back a little bit as well. Getting that fluid movement. So nice. It's kind of like you're working your hamstring and keeps the tension off the front of your hip. Then go the other way, back and up and around, back, up and around, back, up and around. This one's like going over a hurdle, over and down and back. Don't forget to go back. So I think sometimes we kind of linger on the front. So go back a bit and back without going into your lower back. Then you're anchored with the bottom leg. And your ribs staying stable and still. You definitely feel those. Then to flush that out, then you got a little bit of static. Well, not static because it's still moving, but straight line kind of like abduction there, just to get in on the muscle fiber on those. Or you can bring that back a little bit. I can go back that way, down and back. Down and back. You definitely feel that. Good. You can calm that down then just by pressing in, pressure off, pressing in. Keep the tension out of the foot, pressure off, pressing in, pressure off. Just allows it to settle down. And you're getting that little bit of opposition happening there. Working the inner thigh, pulling the abs, pressure off, pull in. You're only working one side. So it's kind of nice that way. Good. And relax a bit. Alright, let's try the opposite side then. So back in the knee fold again. And then forward and up, back and around. Inhale, exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale. Exhale. And back. And back. And back. Keep the abs working. Takes a while for them to come on, as in the glutes. Nice and smooth. It's good for your hips as well. It's good for that mobility. And back. And back. And back. And back. Once you start to feel it then, like we've got, because it's all just about endurance, isn't it? So the low load stuff, getting those muscle fibers switched on, back kind of from the inner, deeper body to the external body, that way. Good. And then go back and up and around. Just watch all your pelvic area, keep your pelvis level and stable. I like to think about staying long between the ribs and the pelvis here, like I'm reaching that sit bone to the far wall, down this way. And down towards my foot. Stay long and up. I don't need to bend at the waist to get the knee up. It's a nice bit of hip flexor wake up as well. And then going back a wee bit, getting into your extension, making sure it's feeling good. And then just watching if there's any nerve kind of on the lower leg. Just keep that foot relaxed, that you're not overworking that lower leg. Backing up more than enough of those, and then do a little bit of abduction. You can bring that back a bit, so good at the kind of 45-degree angle. You get those posterior fibers at the glute med, those stabilizing muscles, which are good for walking and standing on one leg and helping our balance that way and all that. And then brought into back here as well. And then back. You definitely feel them. And down and up. And lower and lift, and lower and lift, and lower. Cool. Then your little switch off. Yeah. So work on the opposite side of the body, inner thigh, and then just bringing it in. Sorry. Down and in. Yeah. I like to have the knee, center of the knee, kind of in the center of the ball. Just stops us from that wobble. And pressure off. And pressure off. And pressure off. And pressure off. Good. And pressure off. Alright, cool. Alright, I'll do a bridge one with you. So, this one you can lift and back down. Straight lift. Fold at the hips. And gently up. Fold at the hips. And lift. And fold at the hips. Then you can lift, you can hold, and you can squeeze in on the inner thighs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and land. Breathe in, lift up, keep the ribs soft, only coming up to the middle, to the lower part of the shoulder blades, that you're comfortable in your neck, and then pressing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And land down, breathe in, and then come up again. Breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in, and then land down. Good. Okay, and then from there, let's try, we do this little hamstring one. So I have a flexi band that's looped. There's a small loop in it. It's not too big. It's probably like the width of, it's kind of like 2 hands maybe, max, right? And this is a red band, so it's kind of light enough. Yeah? Light enough, but yeah, effective. Okay, so then from there, I have this like this. My hands are resting across each other. My forehead is resting on the mat. I curl up and back. You can keep to the same side and then back. I curl up and back. And curl and then back. You'll feel that in your hamstrings. That way. And back. And reach. And back. And reach. And back. Reach. And back. And back. And back. It's quite nice. Yeah? It's really good for watch your lower back. You can tuck it under with your tailbone a little bit. You can put a towel underneath your tummy if you find that you find it hard to connect into your abs here. And then just watch your knee pressure as well. So stay light around your knee when you're lowering and lifting. Don't trap your kneecap into the floor, right? So it's all about staying light with the front of the thigh. You're not lifting your knee necessarily, but you're definitely just watch a little bit of knee care because it is kind of has a tendency just to make sure that you're not putting pressure on the knee. Okay, that way. And if the band creeps up, you can just kind of like encourage it back down again. Yeah. A loop band would be a good idea as well if you don't have a flexi band, or a loop band is kind of like more convenient to pop on and off. Just make sure that it's not too much because hamstrings have kind of many roles, right? And this is more kind of like stability low-ish to middle load hamstring rather than kind of like overloading it. Kind of tend to cramp if we kind of overload the work sometimes on hamstrings. And they don't always need that high intensity, they need a kind of bit of variation in the work, right? These are really good for back care as well, because if you're kind of arched in your back a little bit, it helps pull the pelvis down a wee bit. So if you've got strength in your hamstrings, you've got a good aspect of stability in the back of your body, and then lower. Or even if you're quad dominant as well, like if you overwork through the muscles in the front of the thighs, and these are good for waking this up as well. And then back, keep the breath going. You can do 3 sets of 10 on these. I like doing it for sometimes for time as well. I might do this for a minute or a minute and a half or even kind of 2 minutes. That's why it's kind of medium, so I can get away with doing this for a little bit longer. And then it's important to kind of stretch afterwards as well. So then when you're like this, you can lie back down and you can stretch. You can stretch, bend, and stretch. You can hold that for 10 seconds, or you can hold it for 30 seconds. that kind of stuff. Just make sure you're okay in your neck and shoulders. If it's too much on your neck, you can loop a hand towel around your upper leg here, just so that you relax through the shoulders, switch, and then reach. So that's a small little routine with a little bit of posture, a little bit of abs, a little bit of glutes. So I hope you like that. The mini ball is really good. There's lots of different exercises that we can do with the mini ball. And thanks a lot for watching.